What do you say we finally finish Peach's Castle?
Tim.
Jaden.
Hello.
Hey, how you going, man? Hey. How you doing?
What are you doing? What are you
Mate.
doing to this place?
I'm cleaning up.
Cleaning up. There's like a big, like a wave coming towards my base.
A wave?
Oh, there's a big wave. Have a look at this.
Session's out there, man.
Wave of green wool and stuff like that. What's underneath here?
Under here was a mob farm. Yeah, it just wasn't very efficient, so I thought I'll get rid of it. Yeah. Some experiments fail.
That's true. That's true. It looks pretty good though.
It does. It does from my end. It looks horrendous from your end.
Yeah, let's go over to my base for a second. Well, let's just go on this the Mario tube thing I built for you.
Yeah.
We should never use, by the way. What is this?
If you have to ask, then I didn't do a good enough job, I think. So that's Peach's Castle from Super Mario 64.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
It is. I'm really happy with it. It's really good. I had to do the grass and that I had to make out of wool because I needed it to be more vibrant. Because in the game, it's just like so saturated. Yeah.
It's sort of fluoro sort of.
But yeah, chucked a little bit of texturing in there, and there's lighting. If you look carefully, you'll see carpets covering all the different
Oh, yep,
frog
I can
lights.
see those. Yeah, there's some
So
right there.
as you can see, it's turning night. It's all still pretty well lit up.
Looks good, but there's a bit of a gap there, a bit of an edge to it.
Here's the thing, right? If you come over here, right? Look, no gap, no edge, just perfection. Just there's a hill going up. I don't know what goes over that hill. Yeah, no, so it's perfect. Yeah, cool. All right, cool. See ya.
Oh, right. Well, I guess that's what we live with now.
I guess.
There's like 4 days left on this server, man.
I know. 4 days. Dude. We got so much to do. All right, come over here.
Why not 20's coming?
Let's have a bit of a chat. We need to blend this to your base, all right? And that means that we're going to have to blend the terrain from up here to down there. And we're also going to have to go from wool to grass and things like that. And luckily, I'm all ready to go. So come over here.
Have you got some wool? Have you got some?
Yeah, I grabbed some from your wool farm. I hope you don't mind. And like, you know,
That's pretty good. That thing makes stacks. Every day it makes at least a stack.
Look at all these shulker boxes of lime wool right here, mate. This is crazy. Your wool farm is insane. I think next season I might build one just like it.
I get the feeling you didn't use my farm.
Well, I did, but that was just for these 3 stacks of carpet here.
Oh, okay. Well done. Well done. I'm glad I could help. I'm glad I could contribute.
You're not the only. I'm glad too.
Thanks. I like your little trees here too, by the way.
Thank you. I had to make them look like cartoony and like bubbly, and I think they're okay.
Is that like stripped acacia or something?
Yeah, it is.
No?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
It is.
Yeah, had to sort of have this sort of color stem and then the top bit, and it was a bit hard to like get them to stand out because the bottom, at least these bottom blocks, look very similar to the ground. Maybe I should have done it the other way around so it looked shadowed on the bottom.
That's still good.
Oh, well,
we could try
I'm
a few
done now.
more that way. Oh.
But yeah, no, this is fantastic. There's so much done, and it looks just like the real thing. I just have to do the water now. You can see I've got a little bit of the water on the left here. And then on the right-hand side here, you can see this whole area needs to be done, but I need to do a bit more digging. So it'll be blending out.
Almost fell out of the world.
I know, right? I have to move the mushroom, but I can't do that until after you and I have done terraforming. And then I've got to rebuild the mushroom. And we got 4 days, dude.
We can do it. We can do it, can't we?
We can. I think. maybe. We've made the promise now. We have to.
Is your the ocean going to join up with that ocean?
Yeah.
So just fill this up.
It'll actually be a bit higher than what the ocean is.
Okay.
So, but if you come to the other side of the ocean wall, you got this like all this dirt and stuff that's a bit too high. So if I just take this wall down now, there's going to be suddenly this. Just like you and I have to blend the terraining over there, I've got to basically blend this terrain under the water as well, which is going to be a lot of fun.
So what, the ground's coming up to this level?
No. I've got to blend the ocean down to this level.
Oh, I see.
So the beauty is that if you're in the moat and you're coming around this corner here, when you come around, look at that, you get a beautiful view of Jess's ship.
It's a great ship. So good.
It is. And it's just going to be like, you come around this corner, it just, the ground comes out and it just opens up and there's Jess's ship just docked in the distance. Let's head back over to the shulker boxes. I swear I had another shulker box of dark green, but I don't. So this is all the dark green we've got. It's not a lot. But we don't need a lot, because if you look at the ground here, there's not really that much use.
Yeah, there's not much.
For this entire grassed area, I went through, I think, 16 shulker boxes of lime and whatever is missing from this dark green. So like half a shulker box of dark green.
Well, this is going to be a lot of fun anyway.
Should we get into this?
We should do it. Where do you reckon we should start?
I don't know. It's kind of hard. I don't know if we should start there or if we should start on this corner. I think since this corner is the highest point, I reckon maybe we just sort of figure out how we're going to connect it in this sort of corner direction.
Yeah.
And I think the rest of it will just sort of go from there. This side should be pretty easy, I think.
Are we going to get rid of this river, do you think? We're going to cover up the river?
We're going to cover up the river. I wouldn't say get rid of, but yeah. It's always a good idea to light the ground before we put this over it. Otherwise, you end up with a mob farm. Don't ask me how I know this. You know, I just really am knowledgeable.
Yeah. It looks like it's fairly lit up down there anyway, mostly.
It does, yeah, it does. But yeah, it's just something to think about and something to sort of be aware of. Let's do this.
All right. This should be a lot of fun.
Fun's not the word I'd use, but let's do it.
Okay. Off we go.
Hi, Editing Sim here. I didn't record the time lapse for it, and Shaden and I didn't end up recording any clips after we finished because, well, we were actually quite tired. It was really late at night and we both just wanted to go to bed. So it's now the next day. Let's go see what we did. And it's all done. Look at that. It's got this beautiful blend coming down here now. So now when you're looking at it from Shaden's base, it doesn't just hang over. So we got this nice blend downwards. You can see there's less and less sort of the vibrant colors and going more into the grass as we come down. We bone mealed a few areas just to get some grass going there. And we've got that all the way around over here. And it goes all the way around. And on this side where it sort of suddenly ends, I even built like this little bit of a cliff in. Now, this is the first time I've ever tried to build a cliff. I'm actually quite happy with it. Back on the top up here, we've got the waterfall that's flowing over the edge and all the way down into the moat. The moat then continues, and this is a very deep moat. You can see that it goes on a bit, but this continues all the way around here. The moat's nice and high like it should be. Goes all the way around over to the left here, up the stairs. All the stairs have been waterlogged to make it look nice. And my personal favorite part is when you come from underneath the moat here, you come around this corner, there's Jess's ship, and it just looks amazing. It just opens up. And my personal favorite thing is the way you come around this corner and it just opens up and there's Jess's ship. You can see the land opens up over here and there. My water level is considerably higher than the ocean. It's about 7 blocks higher than the ocean. So if you're looking at it from Jess's ship, you'll actually notice that it actually steps up slowly and gradually on both sides. So that's how I got it to be that bit taller. It makes it look like the water is flowing from the waterfall and then flowing out to the ocean, and it's exploding outwards as it's coming through here. And I thought that came out really well. Now, the last thing we need to do to make this castle look good, and it breaks my heart to say it, we got to remove the mushroom. This has been here with us since day one, and it's got to go. Sadly, it has to go. This has been our home. We have spent so many hours in this mushroom, and it's time to say goodbye. I need someone to put all the chests on that. That is still my main storage room at this point, and I sadly won't get time to build the big automatic one I was planning to build in there. I was thinking maybe the mushroom would look good sitting right about here somewhere. Maybe if we get rid of a few of these wool blocks, we can sort of sit it about this spot here. And then that way we can see it when we come out and hopefully not block our view too much of Shaden's build. So let me build the new one and I'll be right back. All right, that's all done. We now have 2 mushrooms. Now you might notice this one looks a little bit brighter than that one. That's because I've replaced a couple of the white wool blocks up the top here with some of these pearlescent frog lights. They look pretty white, especially from a distance, but they help to light up the whole roof area. This one over here, if you look carefully, I shed some torches on top and that gets rid of the torches for me. But now when we leave the castle, we can still see Shaden's build. We just lose a tiny bit there, and the mushroom leans back. It's still in the same direction and everything. It's almost identical. There's a couple of very small variations to it, but that's about it. Coming in, we've got the entrance here. We go up, and all the chests and all that, I've put them all in place, but there's nothing in them. They're all empty, and I need to move all my stuff over. So I might do that next. But as you can see, all the chests are here. I've put all the signs in the right places, but I don't know what's in them. So I need to go take a bunch of screenshots of the other one. I'll stand, say, here, and I'll take a screenshot. I'll stand here and take another screenshot, and I'll find out what's in them. And as you can see, they're all just empty at the moment. Once I know what's in them, I can bring all my storage over here, and then we can remove the old mushroom. So let's go do that now, and I'll be right back. All right, so if we fly over to the new one now, we still have the button on the roof, which is definitely going to be helpful. And we now have all the storage marked out. So glass bottles over there. We've got all of these, your calcite, your deep slate, all this. Everything's labeled back up exactly the same. Nothing's been moved and everything's in the same place, but the chests are still completely empty everywhere. So now we have the very, very fun task of moving everything from the other mushroom to this one. Let's do it. You ever move house and then when you go back into the house afterwards, it just looks so strange and plain and empty? Well, welcome to my empty house. This is the mushroom. It's extremely plain looking, as you can see. It's huge, but yeah, and it just feels weird being in here now. Like, it's so strange not having all the chests and all the barrels. Everything else is gone, and I don't know. It feels really unusual. Now, there's a few things I still need to get rid of, but they can just basically despawn. But one last thing I haven't moved out is this right here. We have map set number 4, 3, and 2. The files for map set number 1 actually got corrupted in our file system when we changed something over, so we don't have the first maps anymore. We got the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, which were done in episode 7, 8, and 10, and we now need to do another map set because all of this has changed so much. Last time we did this, we had a castle and all of the natural landscaping was here, but now we need to remap all of this area. So I thought what we might do is we might grab all of these maps. These are all the maps that we had on the little billboard that used to sit here. I always wanted to put it inside the castle, so that way if you guys ever download the World Download, you can come in here and you can see all the maps and you can see everything else that we've built. And I was thinking, why not use this room, which by the way, I finished the stars off, and wow, doesn't that look amazing? I went through 5 stacks of stars for this room and another little tunnel that I'll show you in just a moment. But I think it just turned out incredible. But we got some room on the walls here, here, and there. I'm thinking, let's get the maps and bring them all in here, and we'll do the final map out, and then we can sort of watch it sort of progress through the time and how it changed. But just before we do the maps, I'll show you where I put the rest of those stars. As you fall down here to fall into the end, you have these stars going all the way up or down as you're falling down. I just thought that was a really nice little effect as you're falling down through into the end. Now you're probably hearing ghasts as well. In the actual Mario game, when you come down this hallway, there's a ghost in here, and when you chase him, he disappears through the wall. When you come outside, there's a few ghosts out here. Now I always wanted to put these in, I just didn't have the time. And I might just quickly silence these guys so that they're not so noisy. That's better. Now they're all silenced. In the video where I built this courtyard, I mentioned that I wouldn't mind getting some ghosts in here, or some ghasts in here rather. And Spider went ahead and did it for me. He knew I wasn't going to have the time, so he went and put not 1, not 2, but 3 ghasts in my little courtyard here. And they're in here, they're in minecarts. I can't really look at them, but there you go. If you look, sort of just glitch through them a little bit, you can see he's just inside that little minecart, and there's a little glass pane. If you look up higher, you might see that little glass pane right there. That blocks his vision, so he can't see me, and that's why he's not shooting at me right now while I'm jumping around here. And that's perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. And now we have these little floating ghosts in the courtyard. Let's get these maps done, and I'll be right back. I've just put up all the maps. They look great. Here's episode 7. You can see the outline of the base up there and just sort of a rough idea. You got the mushroom, the original mushroom right there. And you can actually see the beak of Gerald. He had already been put on the roof. And you can see all my little starter bases there. In episode 8, just one episode after that one, you can see there's been a lot more progress. Now, I just want to make a very quick mention of something. Something went wrong with this map here. Actually, this one and that one. And I'm not quite sure why, but it's rendered in the roof on these, even though they're locked. We've had some issues with the maps on this server for some reason, but that whole roof wasn't completed at all at the time that I made this map. So that should still just be the outline. But what you can see here is that all of those little farms and things like that, all the starter farms and the trees and all the sand and gravel and all that has all been flattened out. So we've got this nice big flat area, which is where we started building the castle. We can also see Shaden's base down here. This is before his copper had oxidized. There's a couple of like sort of darker ones here. That was when it was still oxidizing. It's really cool. And also Shaden's path ends there in this one as well. If we go to episode 10, there's Shaden's path extended here. There's a little bit more out the back here, and all of his copper has oxidized. So that's completely changed the look of his. And then up here, you can see again the whole flattened out area. And this time the castle has been completed. We have all the roof in and everything. So it looks great. And then we go all the way to this episode 21. And you can see the castle is not only complete, but we have the moat in. We have all the pathways lined out. We have all the terrain. You can see where it comes up and then back down and blends nicely into Shaden's. Looking at this map, I actually think that the blending is actually really great. The one that we've sort of done down to Shaden's area. From here, you almost can't tell that it's that much different. Over this side, I must confess, I haven't done any blending at all. Neither have I done the back, and I sadly won't have the time for that. So this is how it's going to be left. There is 2 mushrooms on this one, so we'll take down that mushroom and then we'll refresh this. We just have to pop these 2 maps off and basically put them back down in the right order, of course. Put them all back down once we've removed it, and that'll update it. This is the only map I haven't locked, because any more progress that I make, I want it to be updated, because this is the last map that I'll be making for the season. Talking about maps, everyone on the server got together and are absolute legends, and every one of the paintings for this castle is now complete. If we have a look in this chest, we'll see every single painting all completed inside these chests, all ready to go. So all we have to do now is hang them on the wall. Some of the legends who helped me out were Shaden, Blue Green Snake, Billy Bob Turkey, Spidered Watermelon, and of course, last but definitely not least, Whaley Jebs. Oh, and of course, I did some as well. But between us, we've got all these maps completely finished. So let's hang them all up. This place has come to life. Look at this. We've got all the paintings done. This is like a bit of a gallery room. I can show you all the paintings in each room, but I think it's just easier if I just show them to you here, because this is a bit of a gallery and it gives you a sort of good view of them all. So you've got most of the paintings in here. And then if we pop over this side, you go to the mirror room, you'll see some as well. So you can see them through the mirrors, which is amazing. And then you go here, you got all the different paintings. You'll notice there's not a painting here, because in the game, the way it's done is got a perfect reflection on all sides. But then you come to this side and then you jump through the wall here. But obviously we can't do that in this game. But the idea is it's meant to sort of tell you, hey, look through the mirrors. There's a reflection there that isn't here. Go try that. I also noticed a really cheeky thing, but at some point, Shaden has swapped my head in the reflection with his head. I don't even know when he did that, but it's hilarious and it's staying there for the world download. Coming out, if we head to the other side, we get to Tiny Huge Island. Now, this one is incredible. So the way that this room is meant to work, when you come in here, it's the regular size. When you come in here, it should look like the room's getting smaller, and when you come in here, it should look like the room's getting bigger. That's why when you look at the walls, you can see it sort of gets smaller as you go, and over this side, it gets sort of bigger as you go. And the idea is that when you go through this one, you're a regular size. So the painting is a regular size, and of course, you can jump through and you're at regular size. You go to this one, the picture's tiny, so you're huge. So you can see there though, on the smaller scale, on the bigger scale, it looks the same. It's just obviously that's got a bit more detail. And then when you go to this side, this is our 7x7 painting right here. This thing is huge. If I just stand next to it, look at the size of this thing. I can't even get it into my camera. There it is. Whoa. Okay, this thing's huge and it's just amazing. And the detail I got into that picture was absolutely phenomenal. It turned out really good. I'm really proud of it. Heading upstairs, we've got Princess Peach on both sides of the door here. And as we come inside, we got Bowser on both sides. How good is Bowser? He just turned out so well. And then as you come up the stairs here, you've got a Bowser on the left and a Peach on the right, which is exactly the way it is in the game. And as you come up, you just got the 2 of them with another Bowser at the end here. So all in all, it turned out really well. I'm really proud of all the pictures that have come out, and they all look fantastic. Now, a quick side note. In the game, this is not the painting that's in here. This painting you're looking at right now is Jolly Roger Bay. This is what basically the entire world got in the game of Super Mario 64. But if you live in Japan, this is the painting you got. You didn't get the sunken ship. Instead, you got this water and the bubbles. It was only different in Japan and nowhere else in the world. Just as a bit of a purist, I thought I've got to have both paintings. Even though we didn't have this one in Australia, I still wanted this one in the game. So I've put that there. in Mario, I think this is like a Starry Night or something like that, but I didn't make that painting. Every one of these paintings also has a bunch of lighting behind it, so that way they're all well lit and they all look vibrant and clear. And I've had to make a couple of small adjustments to the walls just to make them fit, because otherwise they're sort of wrapped around and they didn't look quite right. So what do you think? Do you like them? Let me know down in the comments which painting is your favorite. We got the castle finished just like I promised, and it looks absolutely amazing. I wish I got it finished a bit earlier so we could enjoy it a bit more, but isn't that just such a beautiful view? I love it. But sadly, that is all I have time for. If you enjoyed today's episode, please make sure to hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And any sort of engagement, such as a comment or even just an emoji down in the comments, absolutely helps with the algorithm. So if you have a moment, it'd be really appreciated if you just leave anything in the comments. Thanks for watching. I'm Sim, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya!